Hey out there, this is Zach Slater, and this is Let Me Know How It Is. This is part 2 of our year-end episode. If you haven't caught part 1, be sure to check it out. This time, the panel looks ahead to what we're excited about in 2020. Enjoy! Okay, so that's it for 2019. So what are we excited about in 2020? Clifton, you got one?
I do. I'm looking forward to all of the major superhero films this year. I'm combining them together. We got Birds of Prey, Black Widow, Wonder Woman 1984, and Eternals. The Marvel ones are definitely the ones I'm most looking forward to. Those are always my favorites. I'm looking forward to the DC ones, Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman, for a similar reason. I think for both of the movie universes, it's kind of a turning point this year where I think they're both trying to figure out what their next direction is going to be. And I'm curious to see where they both, what direction they both go. And we wrapped up the Marvel stuff with Endgame, got the epilogue in Far From Home. So now it's Marvel opening up a new chapter. And I'm very curious to see how they do it, especially with a title like Eternals, which has been around in the comics, but I don't know of like any avid Eternals fans, honestly, from comics. Like, I don't know anyone who will tell you that's their favorite comic book.
Nobody would say that.
I am fascinated to see what the Marvel Studios does with it.
Sure.
Like, they gave us Guardians of the Galaxy that I don't think people were expecting. Even fans of Guardians of the Galaxy were not expecting that Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm curious to see how that one will turn out. For the DC ones, I mean, I feel like they're finally giving up on their attempt at a shared universe, and it's probably for the best for them. So I'm curious to see how that goes too. Another fun fact just about all 4 of these movies is that all 4 are directed by women, which is a major, I think, milestone in popular media of actually any kind to have 4 tentpole movies directed by women, and I can't wait to see how they do.
Yeah, I'm not sure about I'm looking forward to the Marvel stuff. I'm looking forward to Eternals and Black Widow. I'm on board for both of those, even though I haven't seen, other than, what's his name? His pictures of him being jacked.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, which is
jacked.
Which is an amazing transformation from what he normally looks like. But it's Eternals, as you said, is not. It's a niche, even if you want to argue that in like Kirby stuff. The idea that it's I always looked at it as like New Gods Light,
right? Because
it's one of those things where it's similar in thought and scope and scale to what the New Gods were at DC, but it's just not.
I do think it was like he went to DC, did New Gods. I think kind of something went wrong there. He decided to go back to Marvel, and I think Eternals is finishing off some of his ideas that he had for New Gods. Yeah, at least the origin of it.
The DC stuff. I liked the Wonder Woman 84 trailer. I thought it was pretty cool. There better be a good explanation to the stuff with the lightning. That to me was,
it
like
looks fun.
No, it does look fun. It was a cool shot, but I had a moment of like, how does that exactly not be a conductor and she's not fried by lightning?
I don't understand her wings. That's the thing that didn't make sense to me.
The Kingdom Come armor.
Yeah, in 84. Is that what we're getting?
And that what's like Clifton was saying. I think at this point, shared universe and how it all fits is out the window because it doesn't.
Yeah,
because
it's hard watching that trailer though and remembering that though.
Yeah,
I think like there are moments where I'm confused, and I'm excited about it too. Like I do like the first movie, but I have to keep reminding myself it's not. They're not setting up anything here. They're not. They're not. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, watch it.
No, I was gonna say it looks like a shell game to me when I look at it. Like we know who one of the villains are in the movie, but at no point do they promptly show that person in their villainous ways.
Right.
And then also they introduce a villain that's not really tied to Wonder Woman in that way.
Who is the other villain? I know obviously Cheetah is played by Kristen Wiig.
Right.
Who's the other?
I can't wait for it. Really.
Pedro Pascal's playing Maxwell Lord.
So we're getting the Wall Street? Is that what we're getting?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Greed is good.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right. I mean, unless we're going to
love Max Lord.
Oh, I love Max Lord. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I thought he was playing it. I wasn't sure, but I had that moment of, the time the two characters cross over is basically in
Prelude to
Infinite Crisis. Yeah, and it's a fairly big Wonder Woman moment. I don't think we're going to get.
Yeah, we're not going to get that.
I don't think we're getting that. So again, I don't know why you would.
Well, on top of that, they say they're taking away her sword and shield. She made a prominent press
Sword and
conference.
shield.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of what they said. They said she's strong as hell.
Yeah.
She has this, she has that. There's no need for her to be antagonistic with that sword and shield.
Sword and shield's a recent addition. It's not something she's had all along.
Yeah.
She's been. It's one of the things where from the beginning she's been shown as being proficient with weaponry. But it's for the most, like, again, it's one of those things for the majority of her time. Because I saw a thread about that where people are losing their minds. I can't believe they're basically making her, weaker or whatever. And I was like, she doesn't need it.
She never needed it.
I've seen her punch all sorts of stuff as hard as Superman has, and had no problem with not need. It's kind of like giving Superman a sword and a shield. Why do you need to give Superman a sword and a shield? He's plenty strong on his own. So is she.
I think
she can ride lightning too.
Well, apparently that's the thing she can do.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I'm fine. Like I said, if you explain it in the movie,
I'm sure
I'm fine with it. I can eat it.
I'm sure it's got some kind of epic or mythical quality, and she deserves it. She's that kind of character. I'm not arguing that. It just was one of those where, it's a very striking moment in the trailer where I went, huh?
Yeah.
I feel that they're putting him in as opposed to Dr. Psycho.
Yeah,
because it's the same type of power setting.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's what they're doing. Is I don't know why they wouldn't,
put Dr. Psycho.
Sure, exactly. Cast someone for that role and use them, but I don't know. I have no idea. Again, it's one of these where the plot seems to be, I don't know the plot other than the fact that those two characters are in it now.
What else was on your list? You said Wonder Woman. You said Black Widow. You said Eternals.
Birds of Prey.
Those are the four major ones. Those are the two Marvel, two DCs now.
Okay.
Because for me, I nothing about Birds of Prey is interesting to me. I am not interested at all. Everything I've seen about it turns me off.
The cast. I like the cast a lot.
The cast is good, but I just don't think the premise is that tightly. I think I have to say I agree with Frank. I don't think it's for me, so to speak. It could be a great movie, but not for me per se. At least I'm not the audience, which is fine. I just see them rallying behind Harley in that particular incarnation, which is fine. I just don't think it's just. I would rather see Poison Ivy part of that group if you're gonna make Harley the focal point of that group as opposed to a cop.
We don't know that she's not going to be in it though.
Who, Harley?
Poison Ivy. No, we don't know that she's not going to be in it.
No, you're right. It could be, but I'm to think that it'd be led by a major star if you're going to use that character as opposed to not. I'd hate to think that it's just a throwaway actress used to be Poison Ivy as opposed to. For
me, it gets back to something you said earlier. I don't need Harley Quinn in my Birds of Prey movie. Much like you saying I don't need Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie. I think Birds of Prey is a strong enough concept. I've read enough strong Birds of Prey issues. Check out Gail Simone's run. It's full of great stuff.
Yeah, it is.
You don't need Harley Quinn to sell that movie. And the fact that they do, it's again, it's one of those things where when they roll out all this stuff, like for the posters when it first came out, the focal point is Harley Quinn.
Sure.
And I it's one of the things where I like Harley Quinn. I like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. I just don't think the two worlds need to meet. They can meet, but they don't need to be. It doesn't need to be. The backup band doesn't need to be Birds of Prey.
Right.
And that's what it seems like.
I think you guys are approaching the concept just a little differently from me. Because for me, I'm just looking at like what the movie is going to be and that they just snagged the name Birds of Prey for it. I'm not so steadfastly holding on that like the Birds of Prey was this particular roster in the comic books and that's not what we're getting. And so I'm not into it. Like, I don't need that. My one thing about the title is I wish that the Birds of Prey moniker was reserved for a movie that was going to be PG-13, right? Because I feel like in that instance you have an opportunity for like young girls to want to buy Halloween costumes of Batgirl and Black Canary and Huntress and all that stuff in her. And I feel like it's a wasted opportunity there.
To me,
to do a rated R movie called Birds of Prey that's an all-girl cast that you're not going to be able to play. You're not going to be able to get young girls to see this.
If I was approaching the film, and that is I'm a filmmaker of any stature or any sense of the word, it'd have been Batgirl be the focal point of the introduction to the Birds of Prey because she is a member. But the fact that you're using the Huntress and Black Canary as an introduction to the DC universe through the lens of Harley Quinn seems a bit odd.
Yes.
As far as who they would bring that into it. I'm not saying that. To me, I think Margot Robbie's character and her portrayal of Harley Quinn was enough to support a movie. They didn't need the back, like what Frank was saying, the backup band to be an already established character, a group that has its own following and its own, story revolved around it.
I just feel like you guys are letting the title carry too much weight because I feel like if it was called Harley Quinn, they just had these people in, I feel like you guys wouldn't care.
I'm fine with it being a Harley Quinn movie. I just don't think you need to have those characters support Harley Quinn,
right?
Because she has her own imagery that comes with her as a character, just like how the Birds of Prey have its own imagery, and have them to be introduced under the umbrella of Harley Quinn will change them irrevocably afterwards. Let's say as a result of this movie does stupendously well. Whatever you saw Birds of Prey is done. And I didn't think it needed changing. I just thought it needed introduction.
Need a boost.
Yeah, that's it. And I think the boost would have been better portrayed as Batgirl, just because it falls that same niche of what they're trying to produce with Harley Quinn. Yeah, it would have worked fine. In fact, they used Cassandra Crane, who was a Batgirl, to throw it in there as well.
That's the problematic part of the movie for me. Is it based on the trailers to take it Cassandra?
Yeah.
Who I didn't know that's who that was.
You wouldn't know. How would you know from that trailer at all?
You wouldn't know at all. They regressed the girl. I feel like it's more of what X-23 type of push into it as far as a killer.
It's a Jubilee to me.
Yes.
She comes off as Jubilee. She comes off as like...
She comes off like someone's going to babysit your kids. And that's not what Cassandra Cain Batgirl is.
But like you said, I'm going to find out the premise of it without seeing it to see what they did with it. But it's to me, they're just using it as a vehicle to push Harley Quinn's character in a direction that was going anyway. I just don't think it needed to be supported by those characters that they threw in the movie.
So, some of us are excited for...
Yeah, you're right. Yes, some of us
give it a shot.
Yeah. You guys can let me know.
I keep seeing the trailer. It keeps intriguing me a little more.
Yeah, let me know what it is.
I'll be there.
Piggybacking off the style of what Clifton just did as far as bring two different, the various movies together, but mine unfortunately are related to one another. It's just something that I'm both anticipating. I just want to push it out there. I'm waiting for the third season of Star Trek Discovery. And gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue as well. Oh,
Picard.
No. Well, there you go. Oh, wow. I can combine it. And Picard. I'm really looking forward to Picard.
I am as well.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Do not watch the second trailer.
Of what?
Picard.
Oh, no.
Don't watch the second trailer at all.
The first one, it had me at hello originally. That's what Picard, the show is. But both, I feel that Discovery's been doing a good job of portraying a strong female lead in that universe. I know I can't hold the discussion with too many people because unfortunately it's on CBS Access, which I can throw a rock into the Grand Canyon and hit somebody that's seen that too. It'll have the same effect. No one's seen that I can discuss it with fully, but I enjoy the show for what it is. And Picard is nothing but great as far as feeding off of the need for people to watch Next Generation history. As we've seen what the Orville is basically just the Next Generation.
Yeah, that scratches that itch from Star Trek TNG, for sure.
Exactly. So
Picard was my favorite trailer from 2019, for sure.
Was it really?
Yeah. The first one anyway, yeah.
The San Diego release trailer.
Yeah. And then I got super jazzed, and when the second one came out, I was like, of course I'm going to watch this, and then I regretted it because it reveals way too much. That's why I'm saying stay away from it. Do not.
Well, I'm hoping it's just the misdirect and not the stake, so to speak. I'm hoping that
well, don't spoil it because I have not seen the trailer.
No, I haven't seen it either. I'm just assuming that whatever you saw in there isn't going to be the reason why you see it or the reason why it's good.
I'm poker facing it right now.
Really?
I'm trying not to. No, I don't want to say anything.
Oh wow, it must be really bad for you to feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it went way too far.
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, way too much.
Yeah, I gave away way too much.
Okay,
that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm still gonna see it. I'm not looking.
Me too.
I wasn't looking for the second trailer at all. In fact, I didn't until you brought it up. I didn't think they released one. I was fine with just what they introduced, and I can walk away from it from that. And the Discovery, they left a hell of a cliffhanger at the end of the second season, which leads me to believe that it might intersect with it. I'm not quite sure. I'll just leave it at that. I have no idea what they're doing with Discovery. No idea whatsoever. But again, I loved what they did with the character. I love the actress, how she portrays it, what they went through, what homage they played to the original series, how they intertwined it. It's almost as if, to me, it felt like they didn't combine the J.J. Abrams movie into it, which makes Star Trek more convoluted than it already needs to be. It plays off the original love of the series, but unfortunately, it still doesn't answer the question of Klingons, which I think the series or the franchise itself desperately struggles with to this day. But no, those are two things I'm looking forward to as far as Star Trek is concerned. I think they have people who actually want to push the franchise further and not let it die in the wind. Even though the movie franchise has been picked up, we might see a fourth one if
Possibly.
2021, which is always a good thing. I don't think I'm kind of disappointed that Star Trek has hit a wall, so to speak, as far as ideas go and direction it should be heading into. But yeah, Star Trek Discovery and Picard. Thank you. I can't believe I completely forgot Picard. You know, I was going to...
Picard was on my list. That's why it came to my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, mine too.
But that's mine too.
What you got?
I am looking forward to a video game that's coming out in April.
Is it The Last of Us?
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. That's definitely, Last of Us 2 is definitely on my list. But the one that I'm looking forward to more is Cyberpunk 2077,
Okay.
which is by Project Red, who did The Witcher. The Witcher, the third Witcher game that came out, which is a phenomenal game. Played on PS4. It's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on April 16th. At least that's when it's scheduled. I think it got moved back. It was supposed to come out, I thought, at some point this year, but I think I guess it got moved back. But it's based on a tabletop game.
Yeah, it is.
But you've got, it's one of those things where it's set in a future. It's sort of Blade Runner-ish, wouldn't you say?
Definitely
Tommy?
Blade Runner. Yes.
It's-
And main character is voiced by...
Wait, one of the main characters is voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
It's one of those things where he's playing a fairly major character.
Is he reprising Johnny Mnemonic?
No, but he's not real.
It was his Cyberpunk classic.
Yeah.
He's not real mnemonic in this, as far as I know. But his character's name is, what's his name? Like Johnny Silverhand or something like that.
So probably a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it'll
Johnny.
be. But it's one of those things where you can play. You can, much like The Witcher, you can make a lot of moral choices. I imagine there's going to be, much like Witcher, there'll be a ton of side quests, which is one of the things I love about Witcher, is the fact that, yes, there's the main thing that you're doing, and I wasn't all that familiar with The Witcher as a concept, and I'll probably learn more from watching the Netflix series that's coming up.
This week.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, even not knowing, there's still a ton of stuff that you could make decisions on and affect the character's life and all these minor things that you could do. There were quests that basically you would ride through the countryside, and all of a sudden you'd be on a side quest that takes you a good 15, 20 minutes out of your way before you realize, oh yeah, there's a main quest I need to get back to. And that happens all the time. But in this, you can play as, you can basically have a good moral code or a bad moral code or somewhere in between. You'll be able to modify characters a ton. There's even an opportunity that if you want to play the entire game without killing a single person, you can, which I think is kind of an interesting thing. You'll have like weapons that can incapacitate people and take them out, but you don't have to outright kill anybody if you don't have that, that's not your thing. If you don't want to basically take out the quote unquote people you're against are bad guys. But it just, for everything I've seen for it, looks really amazing. I only have compared the two, like I said, The Witcher, but that was a great game, really fun game to play. But it comes out in April, so I'm looking forward to that. And again, Last of Us 2 is the other one that was definitely supposed to be this year, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, they pushed it back to May. It's supposed to debut in February, but they pushed it back to May for some reason.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I don't know if it's competing with another game or was they need to do a little more work on it, but I've only seen the demo for it, which was a bit of cutscene stuff, which expands the story of Ellie and what's the other character's name? Joel. So basically explores what happens after. It's a good, 10 years?
Is it that much of a gap? I think it's not that.
Or maybe it's 8 years, something like that.
I think 8 years.
But it takes place a good, a fair amount of time after the end of the first one. And, if you've ever played, I don't want to spoil the first one because it's still worth playing. If you haven't played the first one, it ends pretty ambiguously on whether or not,
moral.
Yeah, very, very hard moral question at the end. So it's one of those things of, does that moral question come back to haunt them? I'm looking forward to playing that too, but like you said, that doesn't come out until May. So those are two of the bigger things I'm looking forward to, at least video game wise, in 2020.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, start your groans, everybody.
Okay.
Top Gun Maverick.
You're not surprised.
You want to know who
That's
the
making a
person
push.
they made that movie for? It's me.
Oh, wow.
It's me.
Okay.
You wanted to see Tom Cruise on the beach playing volleyball
I
again?
love that
Yes.
scene.
As a 60-year-old man, go for it.
Can you reach the ball?
No.
They lowered the net.
Movie,
Oh,
magic.
okay.
Movie
All right.
magic. the
Stands
net.
on a box.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
He's
said
on a pulley system that they like. You
And
know.
It's only 3 feet high.
I thought you were saying Clifton, they play it on a tennis court.
Right.
Just put some sand down.
Yeah. It works.
But yeah, no, like I had no idea that this was a sequel I wanted. I think there's too many sequels being made.
Uh-huh.
I would have told you that Top Gun. Oh, why do we need a sequel to it? That's ridiculous. We don't need one. But then the trailers came out. And I'm like, you know what? I don't hate this.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about it, but like it, from what I'm inferring from all of the trailer stuff and everything, I think that the character's on an interesting journey. I think characters in an interesting place in this world.
Are they fighting aliens in this one?
I hope not.
Are they fighting?
I hope not.
Yeah, probably. That justifies need to be there.
But no, it's got a good cast, though. I mean, not just him, but Jennifer Connelly and Ed Harris and Miles Teller and.
Is what's his name in it? Oh no, he died in the movie.
Spoiler.
Oh wow, in the 80s.
We're kidding.
Now you tell me not to reveal what happened to Hans Gruber in Die Hard.
Whoa! I've never seen Die Hard. I've seen Die Hard so many times. I've never seen Top Gun.
No?
Never.
How did you manage to avoid it?
He's a heterosexual male.
Thank you.
Well,
No, not that. Well, I am, but when it was out originally. One, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan because I felt at the time Tom Cruise played Tom Cruise.
Yes,
Yeah.
every movie.
And then the other
I think
thing,
all you people are lying. That
And
say
then
that, though. I really do.
I mean, he's good. He's good in what, Magnolia? Magnolia's like the first time he doesn't really play Tom Cruise.
You're at least a non-Tom Cruise fan that admits to seeing some movies, though.
Oh, I've seen.
There's a lot of people I met that are like, I don't like
that
Tom
guy.
Cruise, and I'm like, F you. Yes, you do. Like, you've seen.
Oh yeah, I'm not that
I'm
guy.
like, look up his body of work. You've seen at least a dozen.
I've seen.
Like,
I've seen Far and Away. I've seen. Like I said, I've seen Magnolia.
What's the one where he's a fat man?
Fat Man.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Thank you. That's the one. That's why.
Oh, he's fantastic in Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder. But again, that's an example of Tom Cruise not playing Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. He's playing Grossman.
Yeah.
And he's great in that. He's terrific in that.
I like him in Rock of Ages too. Like anything where he's not.
I've never seen that.
Anything where he's having fun. I think it comes through.
Yeah.
He's not having fun in Mission Impossible?
Oh no, he's having a blast in these Mission Impossibles.
No.
I can't wait for 7 and 8.
Until he breaks his hip.
Well,
Doing one of those stunts.
It happens
No, what's going
because
on?
he's got
Doing?
because he's gonna have to.
Well, he's
He's gonna fly a rocket ship.
That's what I'm saying. He's 60, so sooner or later he's gonna break a hip.
Yeah.
But no, I've never saw. And the other reason why I was not a big fan of it to begin with is the other reason is the fact that every douchebag in the world put on aviator glasses and suddenly thought they were Tom Cruise after Top Gun, and I was like, "There's no way. I don't want to deal with that culture.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good, bruh. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
totally good with not having to deal with being, So no, never seen it. Never seen it. Don't plan to see it.
All right.
I mean, it's nothing. It's permeated enough into culture, into pop culture that I know enough of the taglines and
I think Archer.
goose, and all
I
that.
think Archer. Danger Zone.
Yeah, of course, Danger Zone.
Yeah. Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah, speaking of which, is there a Kenny Loggins song?
They're better.
There should be. There's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Kind of like we got with Pineapple Express and the Huey Lewis movie song. Like, if there's no Kenny Loggins song, why even do this movie? That's my other thing.
Right.
So, well, enjoy it.
I will.
More,
I hope so.
More for you.
From the trailer, I'll probably go see it too. I'll see it in IMAX or something. But from the trailer,
Well,
I don't know what his journey. I don't know if his journey is supposed to be like he's the last of like a noble warrior,
So he's the last samurai.
right? Or
Wow, that's a stretch.
or
I've never done that before.
Right.
or if he's supposed to be like, a 40-year-old man still wearing his high school Letterman jacket, like living in his glory days in the
Okay.
past. I don't know which angle they're going with.
I think it's a little bit of both. From what I'm inferring, I think it's a
Combination
little
of
bit
two
of
his
both.
former movies.
It looks to me like where again the images and the feels that I am getting from watching the trailer is what I imagine Han Solo to be in the future.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, blasphemy.
And Zach just derailed it for me completely.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That's interesting imagery there.
Yes.
Let's hope he makes it into space.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, more for you. Hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yummy,
And
yummy,
you
yummy.
can,
I'll let you know how it is.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Clifton, what's next?
Can I go? If Clifton didn't have anything.
He's stupefied
Found up.
after Top Gun.
Yeah.
Maverick.
You done crushed
I knew that would stump everybody.
You can jump ahead, Tommy.
Okay. I was going to say Enter the Spider-Verse. We're finally, I think it's coming out this year.
Is it?
Is that soon?
No,
I want to say it's
I don't
Christmas
think
time.
so.
I thought it was. I can look that up. I don't think
I
it's
feel like it'll be a
2021
couple years.
because the animation
Yeah,
process.
because it takes a while.
Well, then damn it. I don't have anything. if that's the case. I thought it was this
I'm looking
year.
forward to that whenever it happens.
I was going to say, Tommy, you were saying, we had talked about the fact that with Mr. Robot wrapping up, then in February we're getting Briar Patch.
Yeah, I'm half on her. I just like the I like the
Have fun who?
my love affair with Rosario Dawson has subsided.
But I'm just saying the fact that Briar Patch is something we're excited about is indeed something that's true, right?
No, I am excited over it just because of the trailers and the roll-up. But I was trying to think of something I was more excited over that's been announced, but I don't think there is now. Now I'm drawing a complete and utter blank that I have to rely back on Cliff.
For those that don't know, we were talking about Briar Patch prior to this.
It's a new USA TV show headed by Rosario Dawson. That it's going to be. It's not even a show. It's more of a miniseries.
Right. But to me, it's more the fact that it's Sam Esmail's like second or third thing, really.
Third,
because he did the other one with Julia Roberts, that show.
Homecoming, I believe.
Yeah. And the idea that Rosario Dawson is investigating her
Death of her sister.
Yeah, death of her sister. She was a police officer in a small border town or small Texas town.
Yeah.
And then there's a cat like Alan Cummings in it. Kim Dickens is in it. It looks like a good cast and a good story, and it's one of those things where I'm interested to see how Sam Esmail handles not having it open-ended, knowing they're coming back for another season mini, because I can know he can tell the story from watching Mr. Robot, but knowing it's finite. Yeah. I'm looking forward.
He's got chops.
Yeah,
he's good. He's good. I still hope his Metropolis thing happens.
Yeah.
Okay, then piggybacking off of Clifton's idea of movies, superhero TV shows. I'm interested in seeing the Doom Patrol 2, the second season. Stargirl, that one has a stellar cast and interesting lead-in of the character itself. I'm hoping they do a lot of the Justice Society.
Probably will.
That begs to come to DC.
I was happy to see in the trailer that it is set in Blue Valley.
Is it really?
It is.
Good.
Yeah, so it's, obviously we're not getting the traditional Kid Flash origin because
that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Of course, the Disney Plus shows that are slated to appear, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I know I've seen clips of WandaVision, but I know that's coming out, 2021?
Probably.
So it's a good distance away before that. I was just surprised that they've even brought the concept up if it's not going to be presented. But then again, they've done that for a lot of things. So
they just wanted to anticipate it, that's all. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We got Zemo in the mask.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Winter Soldier Falcon. Zemo, we get Sharon Carter. We get more Agent 13.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, are we getting Agent 13?
Yep. She's going to be part of it.
I hope we get Batroc. I want George St. Pierre back. I loved him as Batroc.
I'm hoping they learn from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Marvel does too well with TV shows. It's been a long time since I've anticipated a Marvel show, me being excited over it. I know, Frank, you've religiously watched S.H.I.E.L.D., but after the first season, when it felt like they were shaky, I didn't know what direction they went in, I stopped watching it.
I've stuck with it through. I mean, it's got, since they realized that they utilize the idea of the fall break, which is a silly concept because really it might as well be first half of the season, second half of the season. Mm-hmm. Once they embrace the idea of, okay, we can tell a story with 11 or 12 episodes and still have a back half of 11 or 12 episodes, they've done a lot better. They had ideas like, they brought some fairly big ideas to the small screen with like Ghost Rider or the Dark Hold and,
Yeah, but at the same time, we've seen Marvel done at least a better way with Punisher.
Oh, no, I agree.
Daredevil.
I agree. Sure.
Yeah, so
it's the movie people.
Yeah, these shows are being run by the movie studio. Yeah. There is no Marvel TV anymore.
Yeah. No, I remember Clifton telling me that earlier on.
They've earned my trust at this point.
The Marvel the studio itself, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the idea of the fact that they're bringing you. I like the idea that they're bringing in U.S. Agent. It looks like to me what it's looking like is while we got the end of Endgame and Sam got the shield and everything, which is a great moment in that movie. It seems like either there's going to be a reluctance to just immediately become Captain America, or the U.S. government's someone's going to find out that Cap isn't Cap at the moment, or we don't have anyone being Captain America, and they're going to try and make their own.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, again, that's all I can tell. That's the only reason why you would bring in a character like U.S. Agent is because the character originally was supposed to be a replacement for Steve Rogers.
Okay.
So, and he doesn't have the same moral compass. He's not grounded properly. And basically it goes off the rails quick.
Okay.
So that's why that character is in in the comics at least. And then eventually sort of has a redemption story of like, wow, I really screwed this thing up as being Captain America. And now I've got to be my own thing. So I'm interested to see how that all plays out, along with the idea of whether or not they're going to move, because they've said that now it's one of those things where, like, WandaVision is going to immediately feed into the Doctor Strange sequel. So I'm interested to see, as much as I like the idea of Sam being Captain America, until it's a Captain America on the big screen with he's carrying his own Captain America movie, it's not really Captain America yet. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to hopefully that's what they're going to set up in it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Okay. Oh, and part of the superhero one is I was thinking about earlier was they're doing Invincible on Netflix, animated version of it. I'm hoping it captures everything the book ever was and then some.
It's possible. It's one of those things where I mean,
Kirkman is a name as a result of Walking
Sure.
Dead.
Oh, absolutely. It's just one of those things where I'm hoping that they manage to, capture what's great about Invincible, and it's one of those things where I hope it's not. I mean, it's produced by Seth Rogen and the other guy that produced Preacher, right? They were the names that were attached. I don't know if they're still the names that are attached now.
Quite
and
possibly.
And I, as much as I like Preacher,
and The Boys, they produced The Boys.
Yeah, they did produce The Boys.
I know. That's why I'm hoping it's more The Boys than it was Preacher, because Preacher they seem to focus on the stuff that's, they focused on, all the Warner Brothers over the top violence and stuff in it, as opposed to, the fact that there is some sentimentality and there is a code and stuff that, that Jesse has in Preacher that you really don't get in the show.
You do not.
And it's one of the things where, again, with Invincible, there's a fair amount of over the top violence too, as you know.
Yeah, I do.
But I'm hoping that they capture, the idea of that for a while it's a very straight ahead superhero book, and then it takes a pretty heavy turn, and then
a huge turn,
and then it's never the same after that.
No.
So, and then there's moments after where again there's heavy stuff that happens. So I love Invincible the comic. I think it's one of the best superhero books in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
obviously, but it's one of those things where I don't know if I'm hoping they lean more towards what they did with The Boys as opposed to what they did with Preacher.
I hope they follow the comic book, the storyline of how it progresses, because unlike most superhero comics, it does have an ending.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was going to ask. Did it wrap up? I can't remember.
It did.
It definitely did.
Yeah, okay.
It definitely did.
It's good. It's a good ending.
Yeah, strong, very strong ending.
Yes.
Yeah, I just hope they do it justice in order for them to continue the storyline from beginning to end, because it's quite a long journey that they take them on.
All right. So for me, that is something that I'm excited about in comics is something that I sent you guys out in a group text a couple days ago, which was, speaking of Robert Kirkman, I'm really looking forward to Robert Kirkman and Chris Samnee's Firepower.
Okay.
Did you not get that?
I still have not.
You didn't click the link?
No, I did not. I was not in a good place that I wanted to
Gotcha.
my internet.
But it looks like from the few preview pages that were there, I guess we're getting around June, I think is when it's solicited for June.
Okay. I do love Chris Samnee.
Chris Samnee's
nice.
Chris Samnee's a fantastic artist, phenomenal stuff. A lot of cool, was on Daredevil, right?
Yeah, he did Daredevil and did the
Daredevil,
Black Widow
with
Mark Wade. It's great.
That's who he is?
Did Captain America with Mark Wade too? Is that Samnee?
He did the Thor.
Very briefly.
What was the Thor?
Thor,
Jason.
Mighty Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Roger
Langridge.
Yeah. So one of the things that I thought, one of the quotes that I took away from the article was that Kirkman was looking forward to building another universe, which I thought, if you've read, again, going back to what you said, Tommy, about Invincible, the guy builds good universes.
Oh, he does.
He likes, he builds good stuff. There's a lot of, a lot of good cliffhangers, a lot of good moments of I didn't see that coming. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. It looks a little bit of a combination of a little bit of wushu, a little bit of firebenders.
Okay.
It looks like it was, that in that kind of vein of, I'm coming here to learn this skill. I hope you're going to teach it to me, and then I'm going to take it back out in the world with me. So whatever that world is, however big that world is, whatever Kirkman wants to add to it, I'm on board. So I'm very excited about it, as well as the fact that it doesn't hurt that the artwork should be pretty great too. So, but yeah, I think, like I said, if you search it out, Firepower is the name of the book, and I believe it's listed for June of 2020.
All right. I'm going to go with 007 movie, No Time to Die.
I knew you were saying that. I was waiting for that. I thought that would be your first choice.
Second favorite trailer of 2019 was that one. God, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah. The motorcycle of the step shot is really cool.
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
haven't seen the trailer yet.
Haven't seen it?
I'm
good.
God,
good.
it looks so cool.
I'll go see it.
Yeah,
just
I
haven't
don't
seen
need
the
the
trailer.
I don't need the trailer.
Gotcha.
I do have to watch Spectre. Spectre is the first Bond movie that I have not seen in the theater.
I didn't see it either.
Since like GoldenEye, so I do have to see Spectre before I go into this one. But no, Daniel Craig's been a great Bond. Very excited for this one. It looks like he's ending on a high note. I hope he is.
Yep.
At least. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. I hope that it's not gonna entertain some of the dumb fan theories out there, which I'm a little nervous about. But we'll see.
I think the Bond girl in this one, or at least one of them, is going to be the actress Ana de Armas, who is one of Daniel Craig's co-stars in Knives Out,
Okay.
which is an excellent movie.
Yes.
I do recommend that one. It is so much fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing them teaming up again
Very cool.
Cool.
in different circumstances.
This one is directed by the guy that was showrunning True Detective for the first season.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Maybe the first two. I don't quite remember if it was the same guy or not. No,
It
first
is the
season.
same guy.
First season.
No, the
No,
same director.
Justin Lin is the second season.
Yeah, they switched after one season.
Did it really? I thought.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, never mind, guys.
Corey Fukunaga.
Yeah.
Corey Fukunaga.
I don't know how to say the name, but yeah, I'm excited.
I'll start us off on lightning round.
Okay.
For my lightning round, I'll start with one thing I'm excited about that I definitely know is coming, which is Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Yes.
Almost 30 years in the making is another Bill and Ted adventure. And I loved the first two. I have both soundtracks.
Oh, wow.
For Excellent Adventure
Wow.
and Bogus Journey. Still listen to them all the time. And then for the other lightning round, another one I'm sure about is Dune, which is set for the end of 2020. I'm excited to see another attempt to film a possibly unfilmable movie or unfilmable adaptation. But this time,
both of these. I almost said both of these.
this time it's got an excellent director and a good cast. I just remember it being a big cast and every day for weeks hearing so-and-so's in Dune and this person's in Dune.
Right.
Timothy Chalamet, I believe, is the lead playing Paul Atreides. Excellent actors. And Day,
Rebecca
I think, is also in it.
Rebecca Ferguson, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, it's a gigantic cast.
And Dave Bautista somehow. Right?
That'll be good.
Yeah. No, it seems epic. Very, very epic.
I'm curious to see what they do with it this time.
It's supposed to be a 2-part movie too, right?
That I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it is.
There's a lot of material in the books. The other three things I've got for my lightning round are things I don't know. They've got question marks by them. They're all slated for 2020. I don't know if any of them will actually happen. One is the Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix series.
That's what I was going to say.
Its adaptation, its last date was 2020 sometime.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
I was going to say.
I'm excited about this one. It does have Kanichko and DiMartino attached to it. I believe it was probably a situation where it was going to be made either way because Nickelodeon owns the property. And I figure it was we can get on and try to help it, or it'll be done without us anyway. So let's give it a shot. I feel like happened, but I'm curious to see that one. Why the Last Man is still scheduled for FX sometime in 2020. Brian Vaughn and Pia Guerrero did talk about it at New York Comic Con in October.
But are they starting from scratch? Because I thought that everyone that they cast they had to get rid of.
Right. They shot a pilot.
Okay.
Scrapped the pilot. Went back to the writer's room and still on order. And I think we're just going to go straight to series.
Okay.
On that, whatever newest attempt that was.
I can't wait to hear all the previous executives that all passed on it and let the rights lapse. Be like, we should have just made this.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. I hope.
Hopefully.
And then the last question mark I have is that still New Mutants is scheduled for an April 3rd release.
Oh, wow.
It's been completed years ago at this point. I feel like that movie's been in the can for 2 years or at least more than a year. I want to see it. I don't know if they're ever going to let us see it, but I'm very curious. The cast is great. I mean, it looks like an interesting take. It's kind of doing mutants as a body horror type film, which I don't think I think it's a fun idea to play with.
Yeah.
With the mutations and everything. The cast is a lot of very talented actors. Maisie Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm forgetting some of the other people from Stranger Things.
Jonathan from Stranger Things.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm blanking on his actual name. But all good people, so I hope I do get to see that sometime. I figure there's probably a good chance that it'll end up on Hulu or something and not in theaters, but I'll take it any way I can get it.
Very
Yeah, it was interesting to see where Fox maybe was going with the X-Men properties before they got bought out. Where between that and Deadpool, looked like they were taking some chances, which was cool. But either way, I'm still happy. We're gonna see Wolverine in the MCU at some point. Cast Tom Hardy. Anyway,
Tommy, lightning round.
To be quite honest, I was thinking only of Airbender, but I think Netflix definitely has a lot to offer. One, I think, is Lock and Key, that one comic book. They're putting that in.
Stephen King's
Joe Hill.
Yeah, that should be dropping in February, I believe. I'm trying to think. There's also Lord of the Rings. Amazon's attempt at the grandiose.
I believe still scheduled for 2020 as well.
Yeah, which is a huge budget for that. I like to see what they can encompass based on how much money they're throwing at it.
I want to know how they're going to try and top movies.
Yes.
That's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a series makes it, I guess, they have a lot of time to flesh out the characters and tell the story the way it should be told. But it's not a story I don't think me particular was thinking that they should redo this time, but it's a big swing. So I'm willing to see what they're going to do with that type of show. I want to see how they're going to flesh out Better Call Saul, because the way they ended the last season is wow.
That was one of mine. I was looking forward to that too.
Yeah, that definitely is something I'm looking forward to seeing this year. I'm trying to think, because you guys said a lot of great ideas and then how we produced it out was in chunks. So I feel like this whole episode was a lightning round based upon how much I'm looking for. To me, what I think is a reboot of Westworld for season 3.
It should be. It's going to be a soft reboot with the fact that season 1's very good. Season 2 is just a lot of missteps and let's do stuff to be clever that will pay off at some point. But it gets very confusing and muddled quickly. And I think that this is definitely I don't know if it's a time jump. I'm guessing that it is, but it seems like it's one of those things where they're basically doing a soft reboot and basically we're no longer confined to the park.
Okay.
That's what it looks like to me.
That's what it definitely looks like to me. So I'm hoping what they should have done with season 2 is what they're correcting with season 3.
Yeah, I think it's so.
I'm trying to think anything else. If I missed anything, it's only because there's so much content nowadays that TV is getting, I won't say oversaturated. It's lovely because it's turning into books, in which no one tells people to stop producing books because there's so many, I can't read them all. Just pick what you like and enjoy it. That's how I see it.
I'm looking forward to, as underwhelmed as I was by the trailer itself that just came out, I am looking forward to Red Son from the DC animated stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen that trailer either. Is it worth looking at, guys? Did you see the trailer for Red Son?
Yeah, I mean, they're all fun to watch, I think.
Okay.
The trailers, I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
the trailer
they don't show a whole lot.
I mean, I like the graphic novel a whole lot by, was it Dave Johnson and...
Mark Millar, was it?
Yeah.
Mark Miller.
And then
Mark Miller, sorry.
Possibly Grant Morrison.
I forgot. I just thought of that. The Mark Millar stuff is Miller or whatever's coming out.
Jupiter's Legacy or
Jupiter's, I love Jupiter's. I know you told me. Is it Jupiter's Legacy? Yeah. I love that series. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of his, but I absolutely love that series. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
That just popped in my head when you said that.
No, that's fine. It's just, there was, that's what one of the ones I was looking forward to is I like the graphic novel quite a bit for Red Son. I just didn't. The trailer itself was kind of, it's a lot of generic shots of Superman doing stuff, even though he's just got the hammer and sickle, symbol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to see it just because I know DeMatteis was one of the ones involved.
Yeah, he did the script for it,
right?
Reportedly, yeah.
So it's I'm sure that.
So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
I'm sure it's going to be solid because of him. But it's one of those things where, like the trailer itself that just came out, I was like, okay, well that's exactly what I expected from a trailer, but nothing surprised me, nothing wowed me from the trailer. But I am looking forward to
some striking images, I would say. A couple of things here and there.
Do you have any idea what the short's going to be for it? Have you heard?
I don't. No, not on this one.
They didn't announce what they were doing for.
What was the last?
It's either
Death,
but it's either going to be Phantom Stranger or Adam Strange.
Either one of those would be fun. I'm good with either one.
Yeah.
But much like the way that Zach was saying earlier, you can get ready to groan. I, for one, loved the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer.
I did too. No groan from me.
Okay.
I haven't seen the trailer.
I'm super excited for it.
I'm excited for it too.
Oh, I didn't think you were. I thought you were down on it.
No, I'm excited for it. I think it's misleading. I think it's going to be a lot bigger than what it is. I think I'm envisioning it to be bigger because it kind of gave me the Stranger Things vibe.
And I think it's supposed to.
You think so? You think it'll be more Stranger Things than actually other characters stepping into the role, so to speak?
No, I think it's one of those things where it's unlike the second one or the first attempt at a reboot. It's definitely going to be.
Wait, hang on. You're talking about the lady cast, or are you talking about Ghostbusters 2?
Oh no,
the second one.
I'm sorry. What I said, and then I was correcting myself in the second one. The first reboot attempt.
Got it. Okay.
With the all female cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, it's one of those things where I don't care what your Ghostbusters are. It's perfectly fine. I just think it worked. The idea of having a legacy and the idea of building on what came before is what the reboot missed.
Well, I think they weren't allowed to. I think there were people holding out on that wouldn't give them the rights to it at the time.
Oh.
The cast wouldn't play along.
But they're all in it.
They are now, but they wouldn't play along in 2016.
Okay.
So something in their minds changed, but
okay. I don't think
but they were in it in 2016.
They're in it, right? But they're not doing legacy. They wouldn't allow legacy.
Right. Okay.
That's sad in itself.
Yeah.
That's what I remember hearing at the time was that they didn't want it to be a
because that's
continuation. Then it came out and then they changed their minds or something. I don't know, but something changed.
Okay.
Because ultimately that's why I think it hurt it.
Right.
Yeah. No.
I think they would have done it if they could have.
Yeah, I agree.
But that was one thing. I mean, I don't know for sure what the story is, but it's one of those. I think they definitely heard it. I definitely think people were, put off or turned off by it, and the fact that, I saw it in the theater and I didn't really think it was all that funny. It's it's one of those things where I thought it could have been a much funnier movie, and it wasn't. But regardless, this looks like it's Jason Reitman, which again is a legacy thing, as well as the fact that it's more of a legacy thing in the trailer. As well as there's stuff that I caught in the trailer. I'm like, oh, so that's the way they're going with it. I don't want to put it out there because I'm sure it'll come out in a later trailer. But it definitely ties into all the earlier stuff that's in Ghostbusters. So, and then, of course, Paul Rudd's in it, which, Paul Rudd's like religion. Either you like him or, you're a part of it or you're not. So it's one of those things that I was really excited about the trailer. I was kind of, on the fence until I saw it. But now that I've seen the trailer for it, I'm all aboard.
Yeah. No, me too. Ghostbusters is not a sacred cow to me at all. Yeah. I like it. I like,
right.
I like the first movie. I was introduced more with the cartoon first.
Sure. Yeah.
Than anything else. But yeah, this trailer, I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. Not that I was expecting bad things, but I was like, oh, wow. No, this looks really neat.
Yeah. But I think they're definitely going for a Stranger Things vibe with it.
Especially with that kid.
Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just... Yeah.
But I mean, think about this. He's the perfect for the character that he's playing. He's the perfect age to be that gangly, weird kid when he's related to who he's related to.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, he's perfect for it. So it's one of those things where that's one of the things that's my really only one left because most of the other stuff was either taken or I've exhausted my list. But that was the one I'm like, I can't wait for it. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I forgot about that trailer. That just dropped out of nowhere.
Yes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, just Better Call Saul. I'm looking forward to coming back.
Yeah.
Zach, you love animated movies. Anything off that list that DC's dropping next year that's in your purview?
So we're getting 2 Superman ones.
Yeah.
So it's Red Sun, and then it's going to be Justice League Dark, sequel.
Okay.
Where they fight like Apocalypse War, I think it's what it's called, or something like that.
Okay.
And then there's supposed to be an original Superman that's going to be the third one. And then for Showcase, they were supposed to be doing Batman Death in the Family as sort of the long form anchor one, like the Superman Shazam one that they did a couple years back when they did the DVDs. You remember the compilation DVD that had all the Showcase on it, and then they did
the long short
Shazam Black Adam thing, I should say.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
So the only thing that I could think of that I'm curious about but it hasn't been announced yet because do we have a date for Eternals yet?
Eternals? Yeah. It's in November 6th.
So I would imagine sooner or later Marvel's going to announce, hey, we're doing a Eternals ongoing or an Eternals mini to try and get a trade or hardcover ready to go for when it rolls out in November. And I'm curious to see who they're going to give that to.
That's what I was just going to ask that. Who's going to get it now that Bendis is at DC?
Yeah, I'm just curious as to who's the one that's going
Jason Aaron.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think
He'd
Jason.
be
That's-
great at it.
Yeah, that'd be
so
strong.
too.
Yeah, I think it'd be perfect for Jason there.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a really good choice. I would, to be honest with you, I would love to see it be the Jane Foster Thor team of him and Dowderman.
Yeah.
I would love to see them do Eternals. Now that let's speak it into being, because that's what we're doing. Because again, I don't think it's been announced yet, but that I'm curious because again, Cliff and I have talked about it before about the idea that there's not a lot of classic Eternals stories that you could do.
Right.
You know, there's not like you can't point to a shelf and be like, here's all the Eternals books that you could read about.
Sure.
So I'm curious to see what someone might do with whole cloth of the idea of the Eternals.
Right.
I just find it weird that they didn't really integrate well with other Marvel characters. You might have got Cersei as part of being an Avenger, but it's I think we'll get what they got with Guardians. It's a reimagining of them. I mean, you know, the basis of the problems going to remain the same, but a stronger integration within the Marvel U
Yeah.
as a result of it.
Well, okay. You guys haven't left me with a whole lot. I'll see if I can scrounge up a couple of things here.
All right.
I'm way behind on TV, so I have no TV on my list. So these are all movies pretty much. So Christopher Nolan's got a movie coming out this year called Tenet. It's being played very close to the chest. Not a whole lot of details. Virtually no details are out about this. I think they did a sort of trailer clip for it that might have leaked online, but it was only for like particular showings of a movie.
So like the Cloverfield trailer.
It was like it was similar to when they did the first scene of Dark Knight Rises years back when
I know you're talking about with Bane.
when another movie
For sure.
opened up. Yeah. So, I'll watch anything Nolan does, so I'm into that. Soul is a Pixar movie that has got me excited for the first time in a while for a lot of the Pixar ones.
Pixar doing
Yeah.
black people.
I just I like jazz.
Speaking of which, did you see that Roy Wood Jr. people kept sending him that photo of the character saying he's like, haha, it's not me.
Yeah.
Stop messing with me. Not me. Stop messing with me. It's not me. He's like, I take Pixar's money, but it's not me.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Wow. That does resemble him.
Yeah,
Oh my
very much
God,
so,
it
right?
does.
I hate to slip back into these days, but we'll see if it still happens. But there's supposed to be a Snake Eyes movie coming out in the fall of
Here's my
2020.
groan. Here's my groan.
No, not me. Not me. He's everybody's favorite. Let's stop pretending. Let's just do that as a movie. I'm good. I'm good with it. And then for my off the beaten path one, I'm alone with it at this table. But in April, Khabib Nurmagomedov is supposed to be fighting Tony Ferguson for the UFC lightweight belt, and they've tried to make this fight 4 times already.
Oh wow.
And both parties have had to pull out due to injury or problems with weight cutting and this and that. So this is the 5th time they tried to make this fight. And
Over the course of how long?
3 years.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't-
Khabib is undefeated champion. Last defeated Conor McGregor back in October of 18, I want to say. And Tony Ferguson's on something like a 9-fight win streak, beating some heavy hitters. Donald Cerrone, I think, was his last one. So super excited about that. I'm just talking. You guys are not into this, but
No.
I'm very excited for that. I think this is going to be an awesome fight. If it happens, I hope it happens.
Well, if it happens, I just hope it is what happens, because I don't know. The stars may not align. Somebody might be better than the other, so to speak.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
It's not even jinx. It's just looking at heavyweight bouts that I used to anticipate and salivate over it. And you actually get to the match like, what? And I'm hoping it, not to jinx it, but I'm hoping it doesn't go as planned. I'm hoping there's surprises and twists.
I think that this
Hope it goes
I
a
think
distance,
this
though.
one could
Hope it
be
goes a
because Khabib has got a very good wrestler, ground and pound. He's going to take you down. He's going to control you, and he's going to pound away at you that way.
I'm just hoping it's in
But
lopsided.
Tony is very, very good fighting off of his back. So I think he may be the one person that may not mind, getting, falling victim to what Khabib's strength is.
Okay.
He may roll with it.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
No, but it is your repertoire. I can't say go either way.
I'm excited. So, okay. Well, that's it for our excitement for 2019 and our looking forward to excitement for 2020. Everybody have a safe and happy new year, and we'll see you in 2020.